Show today, President Trump and Elon Musk. I'm telling you, if there has never been a greater dream bros that are just completely taking out the deep state, what I'm going to show you today, I'm telling you, it's changing everything across the board. And we're literally about to see some of the biggest changes when it comes to the truth being exposed, because President Donald Trump has now called on the DOJ to arrest every Democrat involved in the seditious videos to defy Trump and start a coup. Jim Jordan is now involved with legislation to go after them as far as censoring and expulsion is on the table. Trump said arrest them now. When they come out with an explicit video telling the military and all these people to literally, you must defy the President of the United States of America, they crossed the line, and now we're going after them. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I love this. This is accountability. Finally, don't wait a year. Don't wait 2 years. Go after them now. If you love this, hit the thumbs up like button, guys, because it's about to get even better. Elon Musk has just exposed the biggest grift by the Democrats ever on the on every American citizen ever. On X account, Elon Musk has added the feature where you can now see where the account is based out of, what country it's based out of, so you know where your information is coming from. The majority of the accounts that hold large followings have been exposed to being foreign entities that are pushing democratic views and attacking Trump. Some of the biggest foreign entities are from Europe, Africa, and Australia that are attacking Trump and pushing democratic ideologies across X. I've got all the receipts, everybody. You cannot make this up. The Democrats are literally burning right now because they are being found out like never before. When you see where the biggest against Trump, hates Trump, Republicans against Trump, are literally from out of this country. They're not even from this country. And that just shows you how much around the world they're so mad at Trump because of all the tariffs and the things that he's been doing to put America first. The coordinated attack is again from outside of the United States. We are exposing it. Many countries are about to see a lot of more percentage on tariffs coming from Trump because they've been the ones trying to influence the United States towards the Democratic agenda. Guys, excuse me. I'm telling you, this is like a dream come true of Elon Musk exposing the deep state. Also, President Trump has announced that he will officially have Marco Rubio designate the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. Excuse me, guys. Got a little cough on me, but dang it, this news is insane today. Also, we have caught another person in Minnesota under Tim Walz's governorship who is Somalian, who is named Usman Kamara, who is now being charged with fraud, bribery, and money laundering through, guess what, another NGO. He claimed that his organization was feeding 1,000 kids per day at grocery stores, all the while he was stealing millions of dollars in return. Again, these foreign entities, terrorists, come into our country, get our benefits, steal our taxpayer dollars, and the Democrats are the ones trying to defend them. And we're catching them stealing us right before our eyes. President Trump has not only increased the native-born Americans who have gained hundreds of thousands of jobs due to the trillions in investments here in the United States. 2026, you're about to get the biggest tax refund ever because of the big, beautiful bill. Medicare and Social Security and Medicaid is all being pushed to being more solvent because of tariffs. We got $2,000 tariff dividend checks coming next year. Inflation is at 2.7% compared to Biden's 5%. Guys, this is winning. Lowest holiday gas prices since the pandemic. Tell me, are we not winning with Trump? So much breaking news today, guys, but I'm telling you, when you see the receipts, it is amazing. And I'm ready to see these arrests, guys. They're talking about this week. It is awesome. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all those who support our channel. And thank you so much to everybody that gives and supports us in our giving. Yesterday, thank you to everybody that supported us and giving to that local charity, the Children's Home. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And remember, we just don't want to bring you the breaking news every day. We want this channel to have a greater purpose. That's why every month on the 22nd, we donate with you to a local charity. But I want to give some special love to Elaine Colbert, Fapala Mose, Yvonne Criado. Show Elaine some love in the chat, everybody. Always, thank you so much for your support. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. But guys, go ahead and give it up because already our boy Chris Prez, OG of the channel, gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership, show him some love in the chat, as well as our boy Mr. Norby, OG of the channel, Richard, PDX67, and OG Jim Barbato. Give him some love in the chat. Big show today. Don't forget our sponsor, Chapter, everybody. It's open enrollment time for Medicare, and yes, they are open on the weekends. And I'm telling you, there's 5,600 plans out there for Medicare. Get some help. It's free. Call the number 667-895-3015. We have had people save $2,700 a year, $2,000 a year, $1,400 a year. We've had people get over $1,000 in additional benefits just by calling Chapter. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. Again, it's a free service. Doesn't cost you anything. 667-895-3015. Today is a day that we are seeing some action move forward, everybody. Check it out.
Democrats sent a clear message to everybody in the military and CIA. You're free to commit treason.
Our laws are clear.
Right here.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution. Whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army.
And right here, everybody, this is, again, I want to skip past it because it's got kind of a little bit of music. Defiance, and this is where Jim Jordan, Trump are going after them now.
What exactly are they telling the military to resist? They don't know.
What
reminding them
specific
of their obligation
order from the commander-in-chief that we are asking our military to carry out are you objecting to? This is very vague, and it was so vague in this video. I don't think people could figure out what you guys were all talking about, honestly.
Martha, Donald Trump has made a series of very disturbing comments and suggestions that would violate U.S. law and put our military in terrible positions.
Again, we're getting nowhere because you're not talking about an order.
I don't want to wait until that happens to remind our troops of their obligation because then it'll be too late.
This is devious and subversive.
Yes.
They're planting coup seeds inside the Pentagon and at Langley. The CIA already interfered in Trump's elections multiple times, and now they're saying we've got your back if you do it again. This is psychological warfare launched by sitting politicians against the American military in peacetime. Democrats are trying to blow up the chain of command. The president responded. It's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. An example must be set. He followed up, seditious behavior, punishable by death.
So everybody, I'm telling you, this is what I love because we bring the receipts. Trump is now calling on the DOJ to go in and arrest these people because of what they said, in Jim Jordan coming from Congress to censure and even expulsion is on the table because, again, too, we must fight all this type of every single type of coup type that is trying to overtake our government while we are trying to move America first. Sorry, we got this stupid ad, everybody, but this is from Newsmax. Trump Dem traitors should be locked up now. He's calling on the DOJ to lock him up, show him put him in jail. But why? Because they are seeing action taken by military personnel and others from the comments of these people. You cannot make this up, everybody. This is the type of stuff that we 100% lock them up, hold accountability for what has happened because we cannot let this happen in America. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is big. If you love this, hit the thumbs up like button because we are finally so fast now on holding people accountable.
Democrats just told the military to disobey the president, and now they're mad when he says don't commit treason. This is their new talking point. The shutdown didn't work. Epstein, kaboom, blew up in their face. So now the Sombrero Boys have moved on to execution.
We had patriotic members of the House and the Senate have their lives threatened by Donald Trump. That's disgusting.
No president has ever stooped that low. No president has ever encouraged violence the way this president has.
Senator Chris Murphy, who literally said Democrats were in a war against Trump and need to win by any means necessary, is ready to retaliate.
Every Democratic member of the Senate and the House, their life is in jeopardy right now. If you are a person of influence in this country, maybe it's time to pick a side.
The media is picking a side. Take a guess.
Just to be clear, does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to. You have sitting members of the United States Congress who conspired together to orchestrate a video message to members of the United States military, encouraging them to defy the president's lawful orders. The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed.
Democrats are flirting with an insurrection, and the press is mad at the president.
The president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to
Actually
encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
They tried jailing Trump for telling voters to march peacefully and patriotically. Telling the guys with guns to resist seems a lot worse.
Let me tell you this, everybody. I bring receipts like crazy on this channel. And right here, they asked, with what Trump has done and with what Trump has said, has he given one unlawful order? Has he given one illegal order? Talking to somebody on the left who is a representative, and listen to what she has to say. This is why they're using activist judges to try to destroy Trump's agenda.
So let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but on credit.
You hear that? To my knowledge, I'm not aware of anything that is illegal. But, and then she was going to say, but this, and that, but it doesn't matter. This right here is what they can't stand. Native-born Americans gained hundreds of thousands of jobs. 2026 tax refunds will be the largest ever. 2.7% inflation rate versus 5% on average under Biden. Lowest holiday gas prices since the pandemic. Zero illegal aliens released in 6 months. And 119,000 jobs added in September, over doubling 50,000 that was expected. This is the winning that they can't stand. And they're trying to throw anything and everything at the fan to try to mess things up. And it's not happening. And I cannot wait to show you what's next. But I got to give some love to those. Richard, thank you so much. Mr. Norby, Jim Barbato, our boy Chris Prez, with the 20 gifted memberships. Jog Haws with the super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Paulette Brown. Show them some love. Thank you so much, Paulette and Jog Haws. We appreciate you so much. Again, we are going with a dagger to the deep state, everybody, and it's only going to get better with what I'm about to show you next.
If this were Republican members of Congress who were encouraging members of the military and members of our United States government to defy orders from the president and from the chain of command, this entire room would be up in arms. But instead, it is the other way around, and I think that's quite telling.
John Kiriakou is a former CIA officer and whistleblower. So Slotkin put this out. She's former CIA. Who do you think put her up to that?
Oh, I think this is part of a long-term plan by the Democrats. This is all a part of the Russia hoax, where the public finally got the truth that the Russia hoax was indeed a hoax, and now they're going to try this. They're going to try sedition. The president hasn't done anything wrong. Most people don't know what in the world the Democrats are talking about here, but what they are talking about is trying to plant a little seed in the minds of Americans that something terrible is going to happen at the hands of Donald Trump, so we have to be ready for it. It's all part of this broader hoax.
You see right here, they're trying to plant seeds, and what I'm about to show you, we are hitting this before mainstream media, guys. I'm telling you, that's why I love doing this, and I love serving you with the breaking news, because again, you cannot make this stuff up where Elon Musk and Donald Trump are literally taking an axe to the deep state. X's new location feature exposes apparent fraudster accounts posing as Americans in Gaza journalists. Popular accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers deleted and scrutinized after being revealed as overseas operations. And here is the receipts, baby. You have it where this person who had 52,000 followers all the time last year was saying the enthusiasm surrounding this campaign is at levels never seen before. I'm also knocking on doors and making calls to ensure we elect Kamala. I have contributed $500 too. We all want Kamala as our next president. That's my president, always fighting for us. Thank you. President Biden has done a great job. President Biden saved us from Trump's chaos. If you look on the right, under Trump's new, not Trump, but Elon Musk's new system in X, this account is based in Kenya, connected via the Kenya Android app. These people are being paid to lie and spread propaganda, and it is blowing up all over X. And if you follow me on X, which my link's in the description, I posted mine. I'm based out of the United States. We have this person, again, what happened to this person who was always a proud Democrat, professional MAGA hunter? Guess what? They deleted their account. Why? Because they've been caught. You got another person, this Native American who would constantly post, say, I am Native American, I demand decolonizations, Americans are living on stolen land. Guess what? If you look where account based in the very middle, she set this account up out of Bangladesh using the Bangladesh Android app. Every single one of these, Trump is going after everybody, guys. We are exposing them like never before, because not only are they trying to plant seeds to try and coup Trump, they also have been planting seeds throughout X propaganda. This is what I love it. We are 100% exposing them like never before. Elon Musk, Trump, I'm telling you, these guys are killing it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
They're the kind of things you are trained to do as a CIA officer in other countries. This is out of the playbook, to stir up insurrections, to get people to distrust each other, to foment unrest within the government. Isn't that what they're doing here?
That's exactly what they're doing. Jesse, this is right out of the CIA playbook. This is exactly what we were trained to do in those years that we were getting ready to go into the field. You're trained to destabilize. You're trained to make people distrust each other. And here it is playing out on Capitol Hill.
Yep.
I mean, the whole concept of the military rests on the chain of command. In boot camp, you go in, you get yelled at, you just salute, you obey orders. You don't have time to think about the legal implications of what you're being told to do. That's for the lawyers at the Pentagon to figure out. And I'm sure they have great lawyers. You have guys now in the field on missions. They can't be second guessing whether an order is legal or not unless it's like obviously illegal. I mean, like, just go shoot a bunch of civilians.
Right. Right. And then how ironic is it that when I blew the whistle on the CIA's illegal torture program, it was the Democrats who put me in prison.
Ooh.
And now they want people to stand up because this president is the threat to democracy? Please, the hypocrisy just makes me shake my head.
All right. Well, this is out of control, and
I'm telling you, everybody. And now Trump has called and said, "Look at this. The traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level. Sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. Great legal scholars agreed the Democrat traitors that told the military to disobey my orders as president have committed a crime of serious proportion. Guys, it's coming this week with what Jim Jordan has said, with what I'm about to show you guys. It is phenomenal. I love it because, again, no more wasting time. You broke the law, we're going after you. You appreciate this? If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much for your support. Jim Barbato, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. And our boy Andy, thank you so much, Andy. Want to say thank you so much. He said, did Joe Biden sign an executive order to have the military take out American citizens? Liberal hypocrites? I don't know, but give me more context, brother. Kim Jordan, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, thanks, Joel. I love it. Show them some love in the chat. And don't forget to show Chris Prez some love in the chat for gifting 20 True Life News memberships, guys. Today is an insane day because, again, it's one thing to know what's happening. It's another thing to expose them right in front of their faces, okay? I'm telling you, like, this stuff over here, this stuff is insane. Look at this. Oh my, I'm just going to show you another one. They're just popping up everywhere, everybody. Look at this. American man, person who's against Trump and all this stuff. Where was the account based in? Right in the middle. Indonesia, okay? You want to look at all these places where how many times that there's been fights and there's been propaganda pushed by these left media outlets? Guess what? They're coming from overseas. You cannot make this stuff up. Look at this. Another one. The general, Turkey. Native American, Bangladesh. Charlie's Voice Rising, EU, non-EU. Culture Explorer, Pakistan. All this stuff, guys, I'm telling you, we are literally exposing the deep state in real time.
Speaking of bailing out, Supreme Court last night, Alito stepped into the middle of this text thing. Explain that, and then let's go around the map because it's Indiana. And let me be blunt. We need to pick a net up 10 seats to make sure that we can lock this thing down in September or November next year, and President Trump doesn't get impeached. DeGrasse, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so the Texas map is temporarily back in place for 2026 while the Supreme Court considers the state's appeal. Obviously, the state appealed Friday evening, and Justice Alito quickly called for a response and issued an administrative stay. So a lot riding on that situation. We're going to have to pray and move forward. I mean, no one thought this was going to be easy, and I understand the Journal and things like that. But the reality is that we are taking action in response to decades of weak Republicans afraid of their own shadows that have caused our country.
Okay, hang on. You brought it up. Paul Gigot in the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal points the finger at DeGrasse, Bannon, the War Room, that we instigated this and we've destroyed any chance here because we never should have gone after redistricting. I might want to add to the Journal, you ought to learn some about political history. If Alex DeGrasse had not come to us in 21 and we got the net 8 seats, 5 out of Florida, we wouldn't hold the House of Representatives today, full stop. So DeGrasse, what's your response to the Wall Street Journal? Because they're calling you out, bro.
Well, I think it's just disappointing because what we need broadly, Steve, is we really need unity on every front. I mean, we've got lots of irons, lots of fires, and nothing matters more than this midterm election. It's something that we've been talking about, Steve, before they even, when President Trump was on the ballot, we were talking about that, Steve. Just said, hey, we're looking at the next fight, downrange, because we're going to win this thing, and the House was tight. I mean, we're talking about 3 seats, remember? Where they're counting. Trump's declared victory, and we're out there fighting, trying to stop the steal in California, and seats are slipping from us, and that thing was a total knife fight. And as soon as that ended, we said, okay, look, everyone on the show, and I run into people at the airport, they're like, dude, I'm locked in. I love this in the midterms. I'm like, this is it. This is the whole game. So what we need is all angles. We need all vectors of the Republican Party to come together to push forward the best we can. The finger pointing is not good on any parts, but that's just the reality that we've been dealt with. So, look, Ohio's the only state to finalize. Full stop. That's where we're at. Boom. Okay, Missouri, they're under investigation. for using illegal immigrants to circulate petitions in their effort to.
Hey, let's get the numbers. But Ohio's not 3. Ohio is finalized with 2, correct?
Yeah, but that's where we're at. That's what the.
And they're not. And by the way, and they're not perfect. They're not perfect districts. They're good. They're very good. But it's 2 very goods, not 3 perfects. Correct?
Yeah. We shift that.
I'm telling you, everybody, these midterms are so important. And look at this. I'm telling you, this is some of the most profound wins ever. There was a account on X called Republicans Against Trump. There was a date joined out of Austria. The reason it has the little arrow over to the exclamation point is because they use a thing called a VPN to make it look like they're here in the United States when they're not. They're in Austria. Look at this. Opinion. We're Republicans and we're voting for Kamala Harris to back Ukraine. Conservatives should vote for Kamala Harris. Every single one of these guys, and again, you go to this guy, you talk about the Soros family, Open Society Foundation. Where's his account based out of? In Niger. Okay, so all these things that we're showing you, all of them are being exposed right before your eyes, and it's all because our boy Elon Musk said we're gonna clean out the deep state. Rebecca Jordan, let's go. Welcome to the family. Show Rebecca some love in the chat, everybody, as well as James Huber. Thank you so much, James. Says support out press. He is doing what we hired him to do. Red is right. Let's go. Show them some love in the chat. I'm telling you, everybody, getting the redistricting done, making sure that we expose every single one of the lies and holding these people accountable and putting them in jail. This is what is going to make sure that we win in 2026. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
We've got Missouri, we've got the 1, okay? And there's a lot happening there. They're trying to sue, but apparently illegal immigrants were involved in the petition process. So that's what I was told. I got a briefing this morning. That's what I did Saturday morning. North Carolina, we've got the state's 2023 map that was just upheld by the federal court, and the court is expected to uphold the 2025 map. So that's obviously huge. Okay, you got the Democrat states redraw. California's got a preliminary injunction hearing in mid-December.
So hold on. So I just want to make sure we got the math. Ohio's 2, Missouri's
seats.
1, North Carolina's another pickup, right? Another 1, so that gets me at 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Then we've got California, which they're facing a preliminary injunction hearing in mid-December. The state is playing hide the ball with who drew the map. That isn't surprising given the map drawer. His name is Paul Mitchell. Recently said the first thing he did was create a new Latino district, even though the law did not require it. California took a VRA compliant map and made it even more racialized. And that map drawer and the legislator admitted to doing that, and it's a blatant 15th Amendment violation. This is critically important for people to understand, So there's a lot of smart people kind of working to poke holes in that, okay? That was shifting to Utah. The judge is asked to stay her decision because of the late delivery of the file and the unusual high number of errors in the map. We expect
but Utah's a negative 1, correct?
Yeah, these are the 2 negatives. Yeah, these are the Democrat state results. You've got California and you've got Utah. But I'm saying the judge, we see a path here in California. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying we're fighting every inch, and so are a lot of loyal people. And in Utah, the judge has been asked to stay her decision to pull that 1 seat because of the late delivery of a file, errors with the map, and we expect a potential appeal to the Utah Supreme Court and, frankly, eventually to the Supreme Court if she does not issue the stay, okay? We've got Democrat states pending here. We've got Illinois. They're qualifying. It's closed for 2026, so it's unlikely that they're going to be open to changing that. Looks like time's running out there, but that's a later fight to deal with. Maryland, the Senate president's opposed, and it seems to be stonewalled. Republicans already sued this decade and won and prepared to sue again. If Maryland tries to go 8-0, I think that Republicans will probably counter-sue for a 5-2-1, frankly, which is possible. Because, like we've been talking about earlier, is Maryland's already been totally gerrymandered, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We looked at Virginia. These are all Democrat counter-offenses on us, okay? Virginia Democrats are facing a lawsuit now in Tazewell County. It's a narrow Senate majority and no room for error. Could it happen? Yes. Is it easy? No. Are there multiple choke points where Republicans could potentially stop them? Yes. Is it easy? No. So Could we stop them? I think that Virginia should be ready to vote in late April to defeat a left-wing takeover of Virginia. New York, obviously, is suing itself to draw out Malliotakis. Okay, they've got that sneak attack.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. Do you hear how many things are happening behind the scenes you have no idea is going on? But we're showing you here because, again, too, everybody, all this stuff is just lies, lies, lies that we are exposing like never before. The account that's always pushing out polling that's against Trump, guess what? Account is based in Canada. Every single time, guys, isn't it crazy how much lies exist on the left side? And all we're doing is just showing you what they're doing, and then you get to decide where things are at, especially when it comes to, guess what? Putting America first and always having that type of policy. Because everything right now that Trump's doing, even with this, President Trump announces he will officially have Marco Rubio designate the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. Bam. I'm telling you guys, this is huge. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Lori Rapier, thank you so much for the super chat. I love it. Member of the channel said, happy Thanksgiving, True Life News chat family. Show Lori some love in the chat, as well as our boy Richard with the 5 gifted True Life News memberships. If you got a free membership from Richard, show him some love in the chat. I'm telling you, everybody, this is time and time and time again. We are exposing the left like never before. Why? Because, again, making sure that we have free and fair elections for the 2026 midterms. Everything is riding on that right now. If we don't win that, you can just go ahead, bet money. Trump's going to be impeached because all this stuff is all happening to try to fight against him. And that's why I want to move into this real quick, everybody. Right now, we have open enrollment time with Medicare. And at the bottom of the screen, our partner, who we partner with, and this service is free, Chapter, it compares every single Medicare plan out there, and there's 5,600. Okay, this is insane. I can't believe that this is even a reality that I'm saying, but it is. But when you look at how much $14.6 billion in false claims for Medicare, 1 million stolen identities, Medicare claims stealing $14.6 billion from the American taxpayers, called out by the DOJ. This is why this exists right here of 3 national health insurance companies and 3 brokers being sued and gone after by the DOJ. This is why we partnered with this company, Chapter, because, again, I have family members that are on this too, guys, and it is such a blessing that it is free. They compare every single Medicare plan out there, all 5,600 of them, and they make sure that you're taken care of. And there's people that have saved thousands of dollars on this that are members of this channel by calling Chapter. Average call time is 20 minutes or less. Not only that, people have received additional $1,000 plus benefits for gas and electricity and whatnot. Like, it is such a blessing. That's why I want you to have it. That's why we say it on this channel. The number is 667-895-3015. The number's in the description. Also at the bottom of the screen while we're in open enrollment time. Go call them up. Tell them that Joel sent you from True Life News. Be blessed, everybody. And I promise you, you won't regret it. It is such a great service. And again, it's free. You can't make up what we've seen. I hate for you to pay more money to these big pharma companies when you don't have to. So again, 667-895-3015. Call them and you'll be blessed. Deanna Rankin, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, have a blessed Thanksgiving. Pray for the president and his support team. I love it. Show Deanna some love in the chat, as well as Truth Warrior. Welcome to the family. I love it. Show Truth Warrior some love in the chat. And I'm telling you, everybody, we are just getting started. Everything right now that is appearing before Congress and all this, we're showing you right now. And I love it because we have pit bulls that are fighting for America first.
Thank you, Senator Cornyn, and thank you for holding this hearing. I think one of the biggest mistakes we could make right now in the history of our country is to not examine this pattern of completely ignoring our laws under one administration, and in
100%.
fact, not only emboldening and permitting, in fact, funding anarchist behavior under one administration. And then when an administration comes in to try to right the ship, restore the country, repair the damage, we get behavior that is not only obstructionist, subversive, but illegal, all in the name of what? For the life of me, if we want to ensure the devolution of our free state, our free nation, a nation under a rule of law, this is the quickest way to do it. And shockingly, we have not only funded and permitted this type of behavior, we now have lawmakers in Congress, senators, complicit
right there
in this, advocating it. As of yesterday, they were putting out a video encouraging government officials to ignore orders. Our enemies, our adversaries across this world are laughing at what is happening right now. And not only are they doing this and encouraging the behavior, they are obstructing us and trying to fix this every step of the way. And it's not just happening in our cities. They just shut down the government for 43 days. Shut it down. And at what point are Americans going to catch on and understand that these are not lawmakers of yore? These are people that are here that do not, in any way, shape, or form, want our country to continue as the country it was founded to be 250 years ago, a nation under a rule of law made by the people, the people's law. And every time they're ordering a government official to ignore it, ignore orders, they're telling them, ignore those that were elected by the people, ignore the law of the people. And so somebody in this place has to call that out, because that is the quickest way to lose this nation.
And what is Trump doing right now? He is now called on the DOJ. Hey, y'all need to go arrest some people. We need to put them in jail. We're working on it with Jim Jordan. He said these traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now. This is sedition. It's a major crime. Trump, and again, too, we've seen it, everybody. When Trump says, hey, when he posts something and says, hey, y'all need to get on this, things happen. And that's where, again, in Congress, it's happening right now, where I'm showing you the receipts. Everybody's getting in on this because, again, you cannot have sitting representatives outright defy the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States. Never once did you hear the Republicans say, hey, military, don't listen and defy President Biden. Never. Show me a video. I didn't see it. And you know what? If there's one out there, I'll rightly come out and show you it. But it didn't exist. You have sitting senators who have said it, and now it's in Congress. They're fighting it now.
And I want to say thank you for being here today and testifying. We have a law enforcement officer that was on the front lines and saw. I was the Attorney General of Florida, and when the sheriffs came to me and said, the Biden administration is telling us to release people here illegally that are in our jails, they've committed crimes, and instead of taking them from us, as they are required to do under the law, and deporting them back to their home countries so that they can't continue to victimize Americans, they are telling us to release serious felony offenders back into the communities. And so they had to, because Biden was not following the law. And that happened time and time again. Drug traffickers, burglars, people, and did it shock the nation when we kept seeing crimes being committed? If they were paying attention, it shouldn't have, because the sheriffs and law enforcement officers around this nation were being told by the Biden administration to push them back into our communities. Let me tell you another thing that I had to file suit on to get information when we found out. Historically, when we picked up people internationally that were trafficking drugs, killing Americans, when they were brought to our country to be prosecuted and put in prison for that, as soon as they served that sentence, they were deported because they were picked up in international places, because they were drug traffickers. Who would have ever released them into our country when their only skill is drug trafficking in the middle of a drug crisis? Oh no, the Biden administration did. They started taking federal prisoners in federal prisons for drug trafficking here illegally. And instead of deporting them when their sentences were over, they released them back into your communities in America. And their only skill was pushing drugs into your communities. That's their skill.
And I'm telling you, everybody, when you have soft on crime policies, when this is the Democratic stance, I just want you to see this image real quick. Because every person on the bottom, look at this. This lady was set on fire. This lady was murdered. That girl was murdered. This gentleman was murdered. And this lady was murdered as well. And it's heartbreaking. Look at the people above that committed these acts of violence. The number one thing is you see a repeat offender. This is the most heartbreaking thing that you could ever see, is that somebody, 72 arrests, 45 arrests, 39 arrests. If the Democrats don't care about Americans being safe and they let out people with this many arrests out into the streets, why do you think they would even care to allow millions of illegal aliens into the United States who could then, some of them terrorists, criminals, harm and kill Americans? This is where they stand at. And this is the stuff that I hope when you share and like these videos, everybody, I want people on the other side to see, because there's no right with what you see on the screen. There's nothing right about this. If you've got to the point where you've committed this many crimes and you have this many arrests, you need to be locked away for a long, long time. Not sent back out to the streets. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. This gets me upset because this is what is being fueled by the left. By the left ideologies, progressive ideologies. You got Mom Donnie, who literally wants to close prisons. Idiotic stances. Andy, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Said 2024 a turning point PAC rally. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. criticized the Biden for issuing Directive 5240.01, which he authorized the U.S. military to use lethal force against American citizens on domestic soil. Dang it. I'm going to check that out. Y'all show Andy some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. I'm going to check this out. But again, too, thank you to everybody that is supporting our giving today. Ralph Campbell, Mobile Welding. Show Ralph some love in the chat. Thank you so much, brother. Show Ralph and Andy some love in the chat. I'm telling you, everybody, I'm sick and tired of this is what you get on the Democratic side, and not enough people see this, because this is the reality, and those families' lives will never be the same.
So thank you for testifying as what was happening. Now we have agents being directed, rightfully so, by this administration to go into communities and arrest those people that are here illegally, that have been committed crimes, many that were forced to be released by the Biden administration. And this is what we get. This is what we get. People threatening, harassing, victimizing law enforcement. Trying to go out and arrest those people that the Biden administration pushed into your communities. And it wasn't just when they emptied the jails into your communities or they emptied the federal prisons into your communities. They kept letting everyone just walk into our country, hundreds of thousands of people every month, and push them in mass quotas to release into our country. They called it their discretion to parole. No vetting done. They kept saying, there's nothing happening at the border. Our border is secure. They testified to Congress under oath that our border was secure. And then they blamed Congress that they couldn't do anything else. How long did it take for President Trump to shut down the border? They've released zero in the last 6 months. Compare those same 6 months to the Biden administration. Hundreds of thousands of people pushed into our country, barely vetted. This is what's happening when we're trying to make sure that our communities are safe. That's why I'm introducing an act called the HALO Act, which would give these men and women who took an oath to protect our communities and put American safety ahead of their own, a buffer zone while they do their jobs. They should not have to tolerate this. If they tell someone to step away because they're trying to do their duties, that we as the American people have asked them to do, that we as the American people have asked them to do and put their lives on the line to do, they shouldn't have to deal with this. And I hope every single one of my colleagues understands that without men and women that take that oath and serve on that very thin line, we don't have a country under a rule of law.
And I'm telling you, everybody, it is happening across the board. So many people are fed up with this, and it is literally adding to how corrupt the government is, what people actually want. I mean, Trump's at the point where he's fed up with everybody. And I'm with him too. The amount of corruption that we have seen every single time, and then we find and Elon Musk is exposing them left and right. It is insane. And again, I show you this video because this is just exactly where the Democrats stand. This is on ABC, okay? So I show you things across the board.
So let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but...
Really? Again, but what do they keep telling their base? He's a dictator, he's a fascist, he's this, he's that. And everybody's getting fed up, guys. Listen to this.
Are you comfortable with President Trump's comments about Democratic lawmakers saying that they have engaged in seditious behavior?
Whoa, stop. They haven't engaged in seditious behavior. That mess you just heard over there about not being intimidated? No, the intimidation came from them when they launched their stupid video that nobody asked for, that nobody was talking about, to try to get clicks and likes. And that's actually a bigger problem that's going on in this building behind me. Everybody wants to be a star now. Everybody wants to be on social media. Everybody wants to be on Fox. Everybody wants to be on CNN or MSNBC. And that's the stunt that they pulled. The president is correct to call it out for what it is. Because for them, and I honor their service to the nation before they came to Capitol Hill, but for them to now go out and tell our troops and the members of our intelligence community that it's okay to disobey orders, that's obscene. They would never tolerate anything like that when Joe Biden was president, when Barack Obama was president, when Bill Clinton was president. They would have never tolerated anything like that. So now they're going to feign outrage because Donald Trump responded to their words that do yield to insurrection? Please.
But should the president have been...
Stop. No. And this is where I'm going to push back. Because what they are doing is trying to throw literally a grenade into the room. It goes off. And then they're going to claim outrage? They have no moral standing to claim outrage because they decided that they were going to be cute and put out a TikTok video trying to get likes, trying to demonstrate that they're tough enough to stand up to President Trump when Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief, not Mr. Crow, not Senator Slotkin. They are not the commander-in-chief. And like I said before, they would not tolerate any Republican launching any video like that when Barack Obama was president of the United States. You know it's true. I know it's true. Everybody knows it's true. But now they want to feign outrage and have everybody come and ask them how they feel. Man, stop. We're tired of the games and the charade. The American people are looking for real answers on energy, on immigration, on affordability, but they want to be cute. So yeah, I'm not going to give them any standing about, well, how do they feel? That's BS. They knew what they were doing. They created a political stunt to get a response. And they didn't like the response.
In terms of what the president said, are you comfortable?
The administration using the oil and gas leasing
Yeah. Look, I think when it comes to Florida, we've been clear in our state. We do not want drilling off of our coastline. And so we're going to work with the administration to still protect Florida's coastline.
So, sure. Are you comfortable with what the president said, suggesting that members of Congress should be put to death?
No, but the president also said that they should have to actually stand by. You have to investigate those words. What they're calling for is sedition. Sedition. Let me ask you a question. What are the penalties of sedition in the United States of America? What are they? The president's not calling for it, but they're the ones that started this foolishness. And I will grant you, this is a foolish political stunt created by people who are trying to get their name ID up, who are trying to demonstrate that somehow they're the standard bearers for our constitutional republic when their own words are in violation of our constitutional republic. You cannot have elected members. I don't care about your politics. This is not even a political deal anymore. You cannot have elected members tell our military men and women, tell the members of our intelligence community that you don't have to follow orders from the commander-in-chief. That is nuts. And as people who actually put the uniform on and serve this nation, they should know better. But they're...
Let me tell you, everybody, I bring the receipts. You want to know what the maximum penalties are? Look at this. For sedition in the United States, guess what? Up to 20 years in federal prison, or plus a fine of $250,000. Up to that's for sedition, conspiracy, rebellion, or insurrection. Up to 10 years in prison. Fine, ineligible to hold U.S. office ever again. Advocating overthrow of government. Up to 20 years in prison plus a fine. This is what we need to see, everybody, from the DOJ. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much, Mr. Norby, for the super chat. Let's go, brother. He said, it's been so slow with the rest, but I'd rather have solid cases on these Democrats than have weak cases and they just walk away from it all. Make these cases strong conviction. For me, boots to butts. Let's go. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat, everybody. I love every single one of these. 20 years in federal prison, 10 years in prison, plus fined up to 20 years in prison. All this, again, is just adding to the fact of that across the board, nobody is having it. And again, Trump is in it all, everybody. Trump is literally fighting and talking about all this stuff, being asked about all this, even what's going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Listen to this.
President Trump leaving the White House. Let's listen in.
Especially for our great Air Force. We're doing some fix-up of the base, which is neat. We're going to try and reinstitute the golf courses. I'm meeting with the great Jack Nicklaus, the greatest person, and he's involved in trying to bring their recreational facility back. It was a great place that has been destroyed over the years through lack of maintenance, so we'll fix that up. Jack will be the architect, and he'll design it. Two existing courses that are in very bad shape, so we can, for very little money, fix it up for the Air Force Base. And we're looking at other things over at Andrews. So we're going to be stopping, won't be too long. We'll be stopping over there. I think some of you will be there. And the economy, as you saw, some incredible numbers came in. Investment in our country is bigger than ever before by a factor of 2 or 3. And that means a lot of things are being built. And a lot of plants will be opening very soon.
Congresswoman Taylor Greene, I know that before you had a fight with Elon Musk and you guys were able to work it out.
No, I get along with everybody.
Could we see the same thing happening between you and Congresswoman?
Sure, why not? I mean, I get along with everybody. No, not my part. No, we'd like to get the peace. It should have happened a long time ago. The Ukraine war with Russia should have never happened. If I were president, it never would have happened. We're trying to get it ended. One way or the other, we have to get it ended. So,
are you willing to forgive her?
Well, then he can continue. Then he can continue to fight his little heart out.
Do you have any comment about Bolsonaro's arrest? A former Brazilian president.
So I spoke last night to the gentleman you just referred to, and we're going to be meeting, I believe, in the very near future.
Sir, are you willing about the president being arrested today?
What?
Any comment about the former Brazilian president being arrested today?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Are you willing? Mr. President, are you willing?
I didn't hear. Is that what happened?
Yes, there's a Mr.
That's too bad.
And do you have any
That's too bad. No, I just think it's too bad.
Do you still plan to deploy the National Guard to New York City? Do you still plan to deploy the National Guard to New York City?
Everybody, I just want to show you real quick. I should have gotten this done right before it, but you know, sometimes I'm so busy getting these videos ready, but I just went and fixed the audio. How does this sound?
If they need it. Right now, other places need it more, but if they need it, we had a very good meeting yesterday. We talked about that. But if they need it, I would do it.
Mr. President, are you willing to forgive Congresswoman Taylor Greene?
Forgive for what? No, I just disagreed with her philosophy. She started backing perhaps the worst Republican congressman in our history, this stupid person named Massey. And I said, go your own way. And once I left her, she resigned because she would never have survived a primary. But I think she's a nice person. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Sorry, y'all. I thought I had it all fixed for you. But again, too, guys, that's the other part, too, I try to do for y'all and making sure that y'all get the best audio, the best video possible. I just missed that one, but I was able to get a little bit of it fixed for you. But again, the biggest thing, guys, we're moving into is the accountability coming from what these senators have said. And again, right here, these traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now. Let me know your thoughts. What should happen to these 6 senators? Because I'm telling you, things are happening right now, and I've shown you a lot of stuff. Patrick, your bet. Let's go with the super chat. Show Patrick some love in the chat, my favorite gift, as well as Truth Warrior. Show Truth Warrior some love. Said, I'm so happy to have found this channel where truth is like a hot cup of cocoa, hot and satisfying. I would love to mail you a photo that you're going to love. What is your PO address? I'll put it in the chat, our PO address. Thank you so much, Truth Warrior. I love it. Thank you so much, Ralph Campbell, Mobile Welding. Said, sorry, I haven't been around much. Been dealing with the devil on my back, but I'm coming back, so watch out, devil. Lord bless you. Eat you on Please Pray For Me. Love you all. Keep up True Life News forever. Let's go. Show Ralph some love in the chat. Truth Warrior, as well as our boy Patrick, your bet. And again, everybody, the receipts today, they're coming out. I love it because, again, this is what matters. Hearing all the different sides and seeing that things are actually happening.
Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, who also sits on the Senate Finance Subcommittee on Healthcare. Senator, you are no doubt one of the Senate's foremost experts on healthcare. Your team posted some stats on social media recently showing the average increase on premiums 169% since 2013. Some states seeing a nearly 400% increase. Can you reform the system, or should Republicans go bold and try to replace it?
Well, the phrase I always use is we need to repair the damage done by Obamacare and transition to a system that actually works. And that begs the question, well, what's the damage? And I held a hearing assessing the damage on that. The problem with that is, my ranking member at the end of the hearing says, I don't know anybody who's been harmed by Obamacare. To which I replied, your own witness is a victim of Obamacare. She was a mom from Madison, lost her employer coverage in 2016. She was forced on the exchange, paid $1,000 a month, couldn't afford it, switched to a bronze plan with a $14,000 deductible, had health care issues, had to take out an $18,000 home equity line of credit. That's their witness. And he's saying, I don't know anybody harmed by Obamacare. So our problem is Democrats are in complete state of denial. They're not going back and looking at what President Obama, all the lies he told about this. They're not acknowledging the fact that, no, it's Obamacare that caused premiums to skyrocket to that extent. So, again, you have to first admit you have a problem. Democrats aren't, so we're going to figure out how to do this through reconciliation or maybe get rid of the filibuster.
All right, so let's stipulate that it's broken. Right, Theo, but we've heard from Republicans before that they'd like to try to solve the problem. The architect of Obamacare, Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel, thinks that the reform efforts that are being discussed are kind of just smoke and mirrors. Watch this.
The Republicans had had 15 years since the passage of Obamacare in 2010 to come up with a proposal, and they've never come up with a replacement proposal. They have no ideas.
Senator, talk to us about some of the ideas that you would support to deliver more affordable care for Americans.
First of all, it's a completely false statement. What we haven't had is the ability to do so. We never had 60 senators to overcome the filibuster. Difficult to do through reconciliation. They couldn't do the whole thing through reconciliation anyway. So, first of all, we want to protect people with pre-existing conditions. Now, the way to do that is reconstitute high-risk pools with some slight modifications. One of the big reasons that premiums on the individual exchanges are skyrocketing is because the faulty design forces that small percentage of the American population, about 7%, to bear the full cost of covering people with pre-existing conditions. You could have done that through high-risk pools, spread the cost over everybody with health insurance. That's not how they did it. So that you start there. Things like health savings accounts. You need to introduce consumerism back into healthcare. You've got to get people with skin in the game. Bring in free market competition. It's, the free market guarantees the lowest possible price and cost, highest quality, highest level of customer service. Gee, wouldn't that be nice to have in healthcare?
Top aides like White House Domestic Policy Council Director Vince Haley, Deputy Director Heidi Overton, as well as Dr. Mehmet Oz, we are hearing are leading the internal deliberations. There have been some discussions recently about, among Republicans, about giving Americans money to purchase health insurance. How is that?
Let me tell you this, everybody. Everything that you're seeing now and you're about to see and what we're hearing, just remember that all this is coming because of what we're finding out, okay? This right here, the mass fraud continues in Tim Walz's Minnesota as a 77th person named Osman Kamara was charged with fraud, bribery, and money laundering, okay? He claimed to feed 1,000 kids per day at a grocery store, stealing over $1 million in federal dollars. He's been indicted on 9 counts of fraud, bribery, and money laundering. We only know this because, let me see if I can get to the picture, but no, they don't show it. But we only know this because of Doge and audits. They're stealing from, they get the money through the NGOs, and then they end up stealing straight out of the taxpayers' pockets. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, Kimcore1, let's go, said if someone in the public threatened a senator or member of Congress, we should go straight to jail. Why should a member of Congress or a senator? I'm telling you, it's happening this week. Stuff is happening. Show Kimcore1 some love in the chat, everybody. This is big, and all the stuff that we're finding out, we're only finding out because of the Doge efforts, because of we actually have people that are MAGA in Trump's admin team.
Than the current paradigm. Talk to us about that.
Well, again, I think the concept there is you put them into health savings accounts, give them the freedom to buy any kind of insurance plan they want, not these highly prescriptive, plans that have skyrocketing premiums, things like short-term duration plans, association plans, catastrophic care plans, which, by the way, that's what Obamacare is. I mean, a plan that is a $14,000 deductible. When I was buying healthcare, those were called catastrophic plans, and they were dirt cheap. Now they cost $33,000 for somebody, just short of Medicare age. So again, it's been a complete disaster.
Real quickly, Senator, I want to switch gears with you and get your reaction to this. A group of Democratic lawmakers with military and intelligence backgrounds, they put out a very controversial video the other day because it seems that they want service members to defy the orders of the commander-in-chief. Take a look at this.
Right now? We've seen this, guys. I'm just going to fast forward real quick.
As a member of the Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs, your reaction to what I think is a pretty extraordinary effort on the part of Democrats and message to members of our military.
It is utterly disgusting. It is outrageous. They're inciting insurrection, just like the left incites violent protests. Again, the violence in our politics today has primarily come from the left. This, again, is disgusting and outrageous. They ought to retract it. They ought to apologize. There's just no room for that type of thing in today's America. That is just sick.
All right, well, we're going to have to
leave it. You know what,
leave
everybody? What I love is that it's coming at the Democrats across the board. Everybody just looks at that video and coming from people that literally have come across the board and are center now, in a sense, are just saying how bad things are with the Democrats. And even when it comes to Jasmine Crockett, Epstein, all this stuff, they cannot hide how badly the Democratic Party looks right now because of all the things that we've been able to expose.
All right, this scandal is obviously not about texting in the U.S. Capitol building. It's about Jeffrey Epstein dictating this Congresswoman's questions in real time during a real committee hearing, and she's reading it pretty much verbatim in an effort to smear Donald J. Trump. That would be a major scandal. Needless to say, Democrats, they brought this all on themselves. Remember, during all of Biden's term, they never one time asked for the Epstein files to be released. They knew they had them. It wasn't a topic of discussion. But now, in a cheap, dishonest attempt to smear Donald Trump, they ended up revealing the dirty truth about their own party. And suddenly it boomeranged back on them, and suddenly they no longer seem interested in talking much about Jeffrey Epstein. Here now, with reaction. He is the star, the star of all stars. ESPN's First Take. He's got a podcast. He's got a Sirius XM show. Is there anything you don't do for a living? Stephen A.
Well, what I don't do for a living is sit up there and instigate the way that you do. That's what I don't do, Sean. I mean, my God, you're turning.
You get paid to
Jasmine Crockett
instigate.
is becoming a star. I mean, she's really, really living in your head. How many clips of Jasmine Crockett are you going to show? I mean, what's up with you? What's
Wait a
up
minute,
with you?
but you yourself on your show said, why didn't Democrats? They had these files for 4 years. Now, could it be because it implicates Bill Clinton, Lawrence Summers, Hakeem Jeffries, and a bunch of other Democrats, Stacey Plaskett? Maybe that's why. And by the way,
I don't think it's me.
While you answer, is that the reason why? And then I have a follow-up.
Sure. Well, I think so. I definitely think, listen, obviously, you know what, it's grand jury testimony. That's not subject to be released. Obviously, you need the courts to have that, and we get that part, and I understand that argument that the Democrats were making. My retort is, don't tell me you're in power and you couldn't find a way to circumvent that if you wanted it bad enough, considering everything else that you did to try to prevent Trump from winning re-election and getting back in the White House. Don't tell me if you thought that there was a preponderance of evidence that can incredibly incriminate him, that could derail his pursuit of returning to the White House, that you wouldn't have done it. There had to be some other incentive. That's just what I'm deducing logically. And then when we hear that we have Democratic officials that were talking to Jeffrey Epstein, trying to get money from him, etc., then that's not a good look either, particularly considering the fact that you already knew that this man was considered to be a sex offender, and he was certainly going to do some time in prison.
He was convicted.
So you have to look at it from that standpoint, from a political perspective, and say, you're damn right that had a lot to do with why they didn't exhaust themselves trying to get the Epstein files open. But still in all, it's all politics is par for the course, and we shouldn't be surprised.
No, it's not. All these so-called journalists are begging Epstein at different times to release any dirt he may have about Trump. He told David Schoen, his attorney, in the final days of his life, he said, do you have any dirt on Donald Trump that will help you in your criminal case? No, I don't have anything. Now, Trump threw this guy out in public, spectacular fashion out of Mar-a-Lago. Now, do you think if Epstein in all the intervening years, 25 years, if he had any dirt on Donald Trump, he would have released it? And can anybody take anything seriously he or some of the unsavory characters that surrounded him in his life ever say or said about Donald Trump? Especially we see he was trying to help Democrats the whole way. I wouldn't believe a word any of them say.
You can't believe what they're saying about Trump as it pertains to anything involving Epstein, because before Trump ran for the presidency, whatever relationship he had with him, he's spoken up for him, he's spoken out against him. Matter of fact, in 2015, I recall seeing some video where he's calling them out and saying, you guys are going to find out some stuff that's been going on with this guy. Trust you me, just wait for it. I don't know when it'll happen, but he was warning everybody. So that's okay. We understand that part. But let's not act surprised that stuff gets politicized. The Democrats are in a position where you're trying to find a winning formula. And in the end, if you can sit up there and position yourself to be somebody that comes across as a paragon of virtue while you're denigrating the president of the United States right now because of the power he wields, you're going to use that if you could utilize it for the 2026 midterms and beyond. Let's not act like that's a surprise here. We know that it is. What we have to find out is whether or not whatever level of veracity and truth there is to what they're saying or not. But I think what folks didn't count on was I think that Trump, as my boy Jeff said, Trump has become a verb. Because what happened is he's trumped them once again. Because he said he wasn't going to open the files. He says he wasn't going to sit up there and sign off on that. He was wondering what the big deal was about, even after he campaigned on it. And then
There's another way to say that, by the way. You could just say,
votes to support him. He turned around and said,
you could just say, Hannity, you're right again. You could just say it that way.
Let me tell you this. Again, Trump, Dem traitors should be locked up now. Let me know your thoughts. Again, too much traitors, too much corruption. We need to put some arrest on the board. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, and if you're watching, if you're not a part of the family yet, please consider joining our family. Hit that subscribe button so we can take care of you every day with the breaking news. Don't forget also our sponsor chapter. It is open enrollment time right now with Medicare. This is a free service, everybody. There is 5,600 plans out there on Medicare Advantage plans. It's insane. And they have the software to talk to you, ask you questions, compare every single plan, make sure you get the best plan available, and it's free. They've saved people thousands of dollars. They've even gotten people additional $1,000 plus in benefits for stipends for gas and electricity and things like that. Be blessed. Call them up. Tell them that Joel sent you from TrueLife News. The number is 667-895-3015, and I promise you, you'll be blessed. The number's in the description as well as the bottom of the screen. I want to give some special love to those that have given today. Jim Barbato, OG of the channel. Show Jim some love in the chat, everybody. As well as our boy Richard. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships as well. If you got a free gifted membership from Richard, show him some love in the chat. OG of the channel, Mr. Norby. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you so much. As well as Chris Prez, OG of the channel, as well with the 20 gifted True Life News memberships. Show Chris some love in the chat. Jog Haas, Paulette Brown, Andy, thank you so much, brother. Kim Jordan, James Huber, Rebecca Jordan, welcome to the family. Show Rebecca some love in the chat, everybody. Lori Rapier, Deanna Rankin, Truth Warrior, thank you so much, Truth Warrior, for your support. And I showed you, I sent the P.O. box at the bottom. Andy, thank you so much. Ralph Campbell, Mobile Welding. Thank you so much, brother. Our boy Patrick Trebet. Thank you so much, Camp Goer 1. Show them some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much for liking our videos, sharing our videos on X. We're here to serve you and bring you the breaking news every day. We love you and appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.